Solid as a rock. Changing. I had to start on a high spirit. You already know who it is, man. It's the homie Grind Mode Chaos, man. We locked in live. It's a new year, new season. You see what we did last season. I got to top that season. Now, that's a hard season to top. I'd have had Grammy winners. I'd have had artists that have billions of views on YouTube, millions of streams. That's a hard season to top. I'm gonna just be real. That's a hard season to top. But guess what? I like a challenge. You know what I'm saying? I like a real challenge. So y'all gonna have to bear with me this season because you know my name Chaos. What you think is gonna go all the way smooth? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? So yeah, man. I'm excited, man. I ain't gonna go into no politics. I ain't gonna do none of that. This season, we're gonna get straight to the nitty. This season, I want to be uncut. I want to be raw. I want to be in your face. I want to be at you. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking the gloves off. Last season, I was a little more contained. I was a little more controlled. You know, shout out to my whole team. Shout out to Video Mix. Shout out to Respect My Grind TV. Shout out to Respect My Grind movement. Artists, if you don't know nothing about that, you need to know something about that because we helping artists get their music played by a lot of DJs that I feel like don't hold back. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the people that I'm live in one area. I'm live on Instagram. Well, one of my Instagrams where I need to go back live on. Man, I got one of my guests today. Got a song with this guy, hot person, as far as this music is concerned. Got a project that he just dropped. We gonna go into all that. But yeah, man, definitely shout out to everybody on Facebook. Shout out to everybody on Twitch. I barely ever use Twitch, so I'm back on that. My nieces and nephews is pressing me to get this music out. I'm gonna get that tonight. They pressing me to get on TikTok and kill TikTok. That's what I'm doing. So that's my other thing. So yeah, man, you know I'm living it. I'm living it. So you know it's tough, man, to do all this stuff, and I ain't got no super big team, but we work with what we got. It's a new year. I need y'all to be safe out there. CMOS, get some CMOS in your life if you ain't got no CMOS. Black Sea Oil, get that in your life if you don't have that. Stay prayed up. Vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc. Y'all know I had what they call it, COVID last year, and pneumonia, so I got through it. So I never try to bite my tongue about what you need when it comes to fighting COVID. There's nothing really to be too scared of, you know what I mean? Because if you're too worried about it, you too thinking about an invisible bully, you're gonna be around here dying from a stroke and a heart attack versus COVID. So I always try to tell people keep that immune system up there. Elderberry syrup, I use that constantly. Like I said, black seed oil to kill mucus. So yeah, man, without further ado, I don't want to sound like I'm rambling. Oh yeah, Martin Luther King week, man. You know, shout out to Martin Luther King, man. It's going down. Next month is Black History Month. We're gonna get it in there. I got some special guests and all that. But without further ado, man, shout out to the homie DJ Chippy, man. We got him tuned in. He been waiting on me and I'm waiting on him. Let's do it, man. DJ Chippy, what's happening?
Yo, what's good, man? How you been?
Man, I'm alive, well, and excited, man. I'm sorry this took so long, brother.
Nah, it's all good, man. I was listening.
Don't fight me, man. Don't fight me, bro. We were supposed to do this at the end of last season, but things got kind of hectic and crazy. So I'm just happy to have you. For those who have no idea who you are, we're gonna go into that. But I'm big on names. DJ Chipy305. What is this, a nickname? Is this the real name? I know you, but I need the people that don't know you to know you. So go ahead.
Yeah, so it's all of the above, man. So my last name is Chippy, so that's my real government last name. And it's also my nickname because I don't think people could pronounce my first name. So they'll read it on a piece of paper and then they'll just go with the last name. Ever since I was in elementary school, that's what people call me is Chippy. That's my name. So yeah, so DJ Chipy305. I'm from Miami. So it's literally just who I am as a person, where I come from as a person, and that's the stage name and that's the real name.
That's cool. That's cool. And now, as far as the DJing situation, everybody got a little backstory. Um, my thing is, some of these artists, football ain't work out, or they want to get out the dope game, or whatever the case may be, so they fell over here into the entertainment world, maybe for a scapegoat, or maybe because it was their passion. Like, what made you get into DJing? Like, who was around? Was it somebody that you grew up around, or what that made you say, man, I think I could do that, or I'm gonna try to do that?
So I've always been into music, right? So I started producing in college, just making like bullshit beats here and there, just for fun. We would freestyle, make these garbage ass beats on FL Studio. We would freestyle to them, and we would have a good time or whatever, right? So I didn't really take it too seriously until a couple artists started coming around, and they were like, "Oh, you should, put more effort into it," because I could see the potential or whatever. So I started focusing on production uh, while I lived in Orlando, and when I came back to Miami, um, one of my boys, he was a DJ, and he was my boy at the time, but he kind of took me under his wing. I would go with him to his gigs. I'd be on the stage as his hype man. We would be rocking the crowd, and he would teach me, how to do it. He showed me the ropes. So I branched off on my own. I still did my thing with him, but it didn't really work out, our relationship, personal and business. So I kind of cut ties with him, but I still salute him because he is the reason I DJ. And he did show me the foundation of it, and I just took it and I ran with it. So even though I don't fuck with him anymore, I still salute him because he made me who I am right now. So it's not really an escape from anything. It's not really, I didn't really fall into it from anything else. I've always, loved music, and I've always been a part of it, whether it was producing, whether it was DJing, or whatever the case may be. So now I'm at the point where I'm doing both. I'm producing and I'm DJing. I'm trying to fall back a little more from the DJing ever since the pandemic hit. So I've been focusing more on the production side, but that's where I'm at now.
You I never heard you say if you're an artist, because some people DJ, but they still like. Do you ever jump on a mic, or do like I don't think I ever caught that part.
So nah, I mean, yes and no. So I used to, when I first started producing, I actually tried to do the rap thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I did that for a couple of years, but that just wasn't for me. So I fell back on that. So the most you'll hear me on the mic is when I'm emceeing at an event, or I'm doing a gig. I'll jump on the mic. But as far as dropping bars, nah, I'm good.
At least it ain't for you, man. Shout out to everybody that's on the live. Shout out to everybody that's on the Respect My Grind movement. Shout out to DJ Mo Life. Shout out to Gold with the Sauce. Couple of my producers in here. Yeah, I had to ask because some people try to juggle all aspects, and then on the DJ tip, like, do you feel like you do a lot of the talking? Because some DJs is quiet, some DJs like you got different renditions and different kinds of DJs. So you got DJs that talk all through it. You know what I'm saying? Then you got some DJs that solid, but they're killer mixers or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Well, how would you classify yourself?
So it really depends what mood I'm in, to be honest. It depends if there's liquor on deck. If there's no liquor, I'm probably more quiet.
Right.
But if I'm getting sauced up or whatever, I'll be on the mic all night long. But for the most part, not really. That's not really my thing. I rather focus on like the mixing, the transitions, there's the drops and all that shit. But yeah, throw some liquor my way, and I'll be talking shit the whole night on the mic.
My other thing is too, like how there's a lot of people that DJ, and I remember when you just knew like there was a handful of DJ, just like it's a billion rappers, it's like a trillion DJs. Like, what was that point in your DJ career that made you? And I need my new jacks to hear this, like, because it might be different for them than it is for you. What was the point that you woke up and you like, damn, I'm really doing this, I'm really a DJ? Is it a paid event? Is it you seeing yourself on a flyer? Is it like people calling you or booking you? Is it because you had a manager? Like, what part makes you feel like I'm an official DJ right now?
I think it's just crowd control. I feel like
Mhm.
when I'm when I'm on the stage and I'm playing music and shit, I just feed off of the crowd's energy. So obviously when the energy's on 100, that just the feeling you get just being able to control the crowd and seeing that like how crazy they going for you
Right,
and for everything you playing, like uh I don't give a shit if my picture's on a flyer. I don't really give a fuck about any of that. But
right,
it's really just catching a vibe with the people. You feel me? Like catching a
right,
vibe with the crowd and just uh, so that's really the like it's like a kind of like a high. You feel me? Like I'll be up there and the night will start off slow, but then once it starts picking up, it's like the energy and the vibrations just start picking up with it. You feel me? So that's
right.
I love that shit.
Man, shout out to Virginia in here. Shout out Orlando, Homestead, Goose, North Lauderdale. You already know, man. I see a lot of people trying to tap in on the other side too. So now, what era was it that you jumped in the game? Was it the cassette era, the vinyl era, the CDs, the MP3s? What era did you jump in?
So I learned on the techniques, but I didn't personally have the techniques,
Now
right?
I know what techniques is, but speaking kind of layman terms, like say what the techniques are.
All right. So I learned the dude that put me on, he did the vinyls, right? So we lugged across the city these crates full of records and shit. And we'd have like 5, 6 heavy ass crates that I would have to fucking carry in with him and shit. And it was around the time that the vinyl started transitioning over, so you could just buy a deck that did that shit for you.
Now,
So
actual, I need you to actually say this on my show though. Actual crates full of records, like not
full of
no
records, yeah.
right,
So it's not like it's not a playlist on the computer, or it wasn't a playlist on the computer at that time. It was a little more difficult because especially when motherfuckers want to request music because you have to look through your crates and go through all that shit. So
right,
however, that's how I learned, but I was privileged enough and young enough that I could have just bought my own deck and have to avoid all the vinyls and all the crates. So
right.
uh, I decided to take that route. So I learned with the techniques, but I didn't master the techniques how most of these other DJs out here that's been doing it longer than I have. Yeah, you feel
man,
me?
man, shout out to
Shit right
Buster Free,
here.
man. I see Buster
This is
Free
my
on the line.
practice set right here. Where's
Oh,
that?
okay.
So that's
Okay.
I got the NS7. That's a little practice set that I got right here.
Right.
So that's what I practice on.
Okay, when you started practicing, give me like about 30 seconds of that. Like, was it a daily thing or did you only practice when you was with your homeboy or whatever the case may be?
So I practiced when I was with my so he would bring me around. We were DJing a lot of homecomings, a lot of
Uh-huh.
proms, a lot of weddings, a lot of whatever gigs he had, he would bring me along with him. So like whenever he went to the bathroom, whenever he got something to eat, I'll kind of take over just to get the feel for it.
Right.
And he started trusting me more and more because he saw I was getting the hang of it. So he would let me like open for him. So I would, the first hour or two until that shit got packed, he would have me on there. And then as I progressed, as I got better, his what he was doing isn't really what I wanted to do as a DJ. Like he was content with doing the homecomings and the proms, and I hated that shit. So I was trying to like, just branch off on my own so I could, make a name for myself and do what I wanted to do, which I did. So from there, I just bought my own deck. I started practicing every day at the crib, started getting my transitions right. And yeah, so you gotta master the craft. You feel me? So you gotta practice every day because if not, you know,
That's
what you
key what
doing?
you just said. I'm glad you said that because that's key. A lot of people will look at just like you got Buster Free on here.
Shout out Buster.
Somebody will hear a Forbes list, somebody from Buster Free, somebody will hear, the Boogie record and just think like, oh yeah, all I need is that one record. But I watch Buster Free do a million songs to get to this point. I mean, he's out of all the hits he had, like like he'll tell you, man, like it took time for that shit to happen, but there was a lot of practice in between that. You understand what I'm saying? Michael Jordan will tell you that, like people don't count the losses. People don't count all the times that he's spent in practice missing shots.
Right.
But they can highlight all the wins. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's important that you said that, bro, and that needed to be said. Shout out to Swag. Shout out to North Carolina tuned in. Shout out to Connecticut tuned in. Philadelphia tuned in. You know, we worldwide over here. I heard you say crowd control. Now, you know, every show I make somebody do this. So now is your time. You in the club right now. There's a record that you playing that you know is going to melt these women, make them dance or make them slow grind or sing. You about to play that record. What is that R&B song? I don't care if it's from the 90s, the 2000s, or the 3000s. What is that R&B song that you finna play right now that's going to hit?
I'm going with my Pony, Genuine. I'm going with Pony.
Okay, I've never heard that song, even though I'm lying. Sing the song right now. Sing it, sing it, sing it. Go ahead. You got to do it.
I tell you, I don't get on the mic like that, man.
Nah, you got to sing it, bro. Every one of my guests got to do this. You not going to...
Pony, ride it, my pony.
Hey, Chippy, you be lying a lot. He say, I'll be on the mic like that, and you just jump right into that.
My bad.
Nah, you did sing it though. You had did it though. Shout out to Beats. I got a bunch of producers in here. They trying to vibe with you. I know what it is, man. So now, on the production tip, was the egg before the chicken or the chicken before the egg? That's what I meant to ask you too. Did you see the production down the line, or you just like, man, I love DJing, but then you kind of start veering into the production? Which one came first for you?
So I feel like you really can't master a craft until you touch every aspect of it. So as far as this music shit goes, right? I tried rapping. I was like, nah, that definitely ain't it. The production, I've touched that. The DJing, I've touched that. So as far as music, like I've definitely tried to try out each lane to figure out which lane I wanted to stick with. So the production came first, technically, but I took the DJing much more seriously first than I took the production, right? So, you know, after I started taking DJing more seriously, I started getting comfortable enough where I was like, all right, I don't have to practice every single day at that point. Let me go back to making these beats. Let me start, you know, getting these new sound packs and trying new shit. So now I'm at the point where, you know, I could focus on two different things at once. I don't really have to just focus on one thing. So as far as the production, I had to put that shit on pause for a while because I don't know if I ever told you this actually, but my hard drive crashed. That had every sound I had, every record I had, everything that I had. It was gone because my backup was gone and my hard drive crashed. So my dumbass didn't back up the backup. So I lost everything from pretty much 2019, 2013 to 2019. Everything was gone. So then I was like, fuck it. So I just started DJing. I was like, I'm not even going to fucking do that shit no more. I'm not going to try to get nothing back. I'm just going to chalk it up as an L and start DJing. But then, you know, one day I was sitting there and my dog was like, nah, you tripping, man. You got to go on Splice. You got to download these sounds. You got to do this. You got to do that. So I started jumping back in the production game. And now you see me, I'm out here taking that shit more serious. So
man, salute to you for coming back. Like when you said that struck a nerve. I put my head down because Chippy is no way around it. Like I think with grind mode, a lot of people like, oh yeah, what happened to grind mode? It's like, dog, we had got signed. We went through XYZ. We went through freaking crazy contractual issues. And then as soon as we was cooking real good and knocking out, like we was like over 50 songs, then boom, this nigga car got broken into. Somebody stole his like Louis bag and our hard drive with all our fucking music was on it. Then months after that shit, it happened again. Boom. This nigga leave a hard drive in his, this is why I say you always gotta have 2 copies of everything. He leave a hard drive in his car on a hot ass Miami day and it burnt that bitch out. That was the second hard drive. Now the third hard drive, one of my producers on my live, he know I always bring this up anytime somebody talk about hard drive, because my heart stopped, bro, when you were talking. Because there's no way around it. I had all my music at our studio in Bel Air, down there like by Goose and Cutler Ridge area. And I had my backup drive in the studio too. The house caught on fire. Nigga, so there's no way around.
Yeah.
If it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
you don't have to like fucking have it at one house, have it at another house.
Right, but you know what the blessing now is, that we get to have like, drop boxes and cloud and stuff like that. It's not like us in the original day, but I remember Q-Tip house caught on fire. And he had all this Tribe Called Quest music, bro. And me as a Tribe Called Quest fan, that stressed me out, bro, when I heard that story. And then right around after that time, Phife Dawg died. I say, bro, can you imagine as an artist, dog? I would have been in depression, bro.
Yeah.
To know that Phife Dawg recorded records that'll never be heard. They probably was the hottest records that'll never be heard. So we all go through it in one way, shape, form, or fashion, dog. And you got to take as much time as you need, because it's like losing a loved one, dog.
No, you go.
I'm lying, bro.
You go through it, dog. It's like it's just like you just want to give up, man. Fuck it. Like I just spent years doing this. I just spent years working on this, and like it's gone. So it's just like, man, I ain't starting over from zero. So I'd rather just move on. But you can't
do it. It'll do it, bro. Like it will, man. So,
hold up. Let's go back though.
Go ahead.
You said you were saying that they left the shit in the car in Miami with the heat,
right?
But I can't tell you how many speakers I've burned out after a gig. I get home at like 4:30 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I got the equipment in the whip, and I refuse to bring the shit up because it's just late as fuck. I'm tired, so I leave it in the car. And then the next day I'll forget to take it in. So it'll be in the car for a week. Right. Bruh, I've burned out so many speakers doing that shit. So if you stay in Miami, you stay in Broward, you stay anywhere in South Florida, you cannot leave your shit in the car because it will get messed up fast.
Right. And then the crazy part is my homeboy, I think he in like Brooklyn somewhere, and he told me that a couple of years ago. He was like, y'all got heat. And I'm originally born in New York, but I was raised in Miami. And he say, dog, you know how many times I done left like a drive or something inside of a car, and it be like blizzard time, and then it's so cold, it's like putting your shit in a freezer. So now that you put it in the freezer, bruh, the mechanics don't work no more. You feel me? So they got the cold, we got the heat. So it's just funny to hear this, bro, because this like therapy right now, Chippy. Like this shit like therapy, because it's like I ain't go through this shit by myself. Like Chippy done lost my 2 drives. I got people on my live laughing because they like, nigga, I done went through that shit. So it's about the bounce back. I know it's real cliche to say, a comeback a setback for a major comeback, but this is one of those moments, dog. Like it'll build character when you go through it, because you can't dwell on it. And then the crazy part is, homie, what I hate going back in my memory bank about lost music is you'll never record it the same way I recorded it when I woke up 3 o'clock in the morning and I recorded this song. That's why, like, this my setup now. I got my recording situation over here while I'm recording over here. I do my show here. I do a bunch of shit in my laundry room on the other side, the west wing of my crib. So I'm still feeling like, man, I need to take time at least once a week to revamp. That's why you see I had bought another drive. Like, I ain't capping. That's 4 gigs. That's 4 gigs. This is 1 gig over here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't playing because I be scared, bro. And they sitting up here too. And you know what's so crazy? This was last year, my water pump, and you think I would learn. Watch this, Chip. My water pump pipe blew. You know the water only shot right here, but I had just took my laptop and all my electronics and put it in a suitcase that's waterproof. Dog, if that would have been sitting here, this is a new MacBook, but if that would have been sitting here, the water, that hot water was shooting right here and against the wall. I said, oh my God, bruh, I would have needed counseling, bruh. And it's out of all the things that could happen, That's a $5 fix that I went to Home Depot and fixed the shit myself, just turned the water off in the house, fixed it. But dog, the amount of
That shit
money,
would have caused damage. Yeah.
bro, I would have been stressed out,
That's a
bro.
warning shot, dog. That's a warning shot.
Yeah, bro. Like so, and then my dumb ass still don't learn because I still like, you know, I'ma leave here tired after I knock out this interview, knock out that. I'm still probably gonna leave this shit in here, my ignorant ass.
No, yeah, that's
But
how it is, dog. That's how it is.
yeah, but back on the topic, man. I know I don't have a lot of time with you. Shout out to DJ Dub. Shout out to all my 954 DJs on my live right now. You know what I'm saying? If I haven't called out your side of town, definitely type where you from so I can shout you out or whatever the case may be, or your company, man, because we don't have a lot of time on this interview. You know, I talk to him so much, man. I mess around and make this a 10-hour interview because me and him be running our mouth. We talking about the DJing situation, but one thing I wanted to bring up too, the DJing and the production situation is a dream. Talk about the funding side of that part, because you do got to have a job, you do got to have a business. Talk about that. Take it wherever you're gonna take it.
Oh yeah. So, bruh, the majority of people on Instagram, or the people that go to my gigs, the people that listen to my music, all that shit, they don't know I have a 9-to-5 job. I got a fucking 9-to-5 job, dog. Because if not, you know, the alternative to the 9-to-5 is something that I'm not really willing to do, especially now that, you know, I have my daughter, I got a wife. So like, I'm gonna stay on the straight and narrow. I got me a 9-to-5 so I could fund the project. I could fund my new equipment. The equipment ain't cheap, you feel me? A new deck is like,
Right.
a good deck is like 1,800. You know, it could run over $2,000 for a good ass deck. So,
Right.
yeah, I got a 9-to-5. You got to just do what you. And if you ain't trying to work a 9-to-5, that's cool too. I don't give a fuck what you do. But as long as you a hustler, you got to have ambition. You got to have motivation. You got to make that paper however you make it. But as long as you're funding your dream and you're not funding somebody else's dream, that's
Right.
Like that's what it is.
But I'm happy you said that. The reason I'm happy that you said that, because I know sometimes when we're young, we just, oh, my dream, that's the only thing that matters right now. I don't care about priorities, because one thing that you threw in there is your other half, your better half, your child. There's a lot of people that's on your back. There's a lot of people that's riding on your shoulders right now that you have to reprioritize in order to make that dream successful, because you can't just jump out there and bet your daughter's life on your dream. You can't just be like, man, forget this 9-to-5 shit. I'm going to get her some pull-ups and daycare. I'm going to pay all that shit and feed her 3 times a day, 7 days a week. Cause baby got to eat. Baby girl got to eat. Even if you don't think about your spouse, your little one gotta eat, and you can't bank on that, on a party on this day and DJing at this club on this day. Nah, bro, it ain't enough. So it's important that you said that 9-to-5, because you're still taking care of your priorities first, and that's what you said. I wanted it to come out your mouth, and that's what happened, bro. So I appreciate you. Now, 3 artists, whether they dead or alive, you want to hit them on your production. Who are the artists that you want to hear right now? I don't care if they dead. I don't care if they're alive. You walked in the studio right now and them niggas is waiting.
All right, I'm going. First quarter, I'm going with Jeezy.
Jeezy, that's a good one.
I'm going with Jeezy just because as far as the type of production that I like to make and the type of music that I like, Jeezy. We going off top. We going with Ross. We going with Ross. Gotta do Ross. And we doing Dead or Alive.
Bling, 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 bling.
I'm gonna go. Okay, so everybody's could debate the Big and Pac debate, right? So I'm not even gonna go there. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go with Pac on this one as my number 3.
Okay.
For the energy that he brings onto the track.
That's dope. Damn, that'd be crazy for a Jeezy and a Tupac. Can you imagine that?
I can see that shit.
That's different. Like, if Pac would have just lived, bruh. If he would have lit, shout out to Simba, man. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the little homies from around the way, man. NSG Simba, man. I'm on this live with the homie DJ Chippy. Man, but Tupac and Rick Ross will be banging, but Tupac and Jeezy? Oh
Well,
man.
Ross did some shit with like I forget what it was. He did some shit with Biggie. It wasn't like a Biggie verse, but
I think he flipped his style or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I could hear that.
yeah. I think it had French Montana on it too, if I'm not mistaken. I got to
Mhm.
go back into the archives, but yeah, I could. Ross would go with Biggie. Jeezy would go with Tupac for sure.
Yeah, that'd be gangster. But because they got them similarities, and they not even because they big boys, but it's just their styles are so similar. Like I really always looked at Rick Ross as like a Miami version of Biggie. So like, man, respecting him, salute to him, man. His album is out right now, man. I'm so proud of homie. Like, so
Attire.
to watch him come from where he came from too, man, and just knowing that we are in that Miami class together, man. I couldn't. For the fact that I got a Rick Ross verse, man, that shit feel good. Like every time I think about that,
Legendary.
I'll be like, man, I need another one of them things. So you know
Yep,
what I'm saying?
legendary right there.
Shout out to him, man. Hell, shout
Bro,
out to Trick too.
I was gonna drop my album December. He dropped his shit December 10th.
Right.
I've been planning on that weekend. When I found out that's when he was gonna drop it, I was like, nah, we ain't doing that. So
Right.
that's when I had to push that shit to another date, out of respect. You feel me? Like I'm not about to drop my shit nowhere near Ross's date.
So that's a perfect timing for this leeway. Before I get you up out of here, give me like a quick bio and some ins and outs of this album, the reason you call it what did you call it, who's on the album, all that. Like, talk about the album right now. We at that part right now.
All right, so it's a production project that I did. It's called Changes. The reason that I named it Changes, I'm just gonna run through everything real quick. The reason I named it Changes was because of all the changes that's been happening in my life personally, career-wise, personally, mentally. Everything's been changing from having a kid to my hard drive crashing, losing all my music. I changed my stage name. I was DJ PCM305. I decided to put that shit in the past. So let's go with DJ Chipy305. So everything changing. So
Right.
I wanted to take that energy and put it on the album as well. So if you listen to the album, the vibe changes throughout the album. So you got the R&B tracks in the beginning, and then it builds up to some gangster shit towards the end of the album. As far as the album, there's 15 artists on it. I got a feature blessed by Grimo Chaos right here. So it's blessed. It's 15 artists, it's 10 tracks. And half of the artists didn't even know each other. I just wanted to pay homage to all the artists that's doing it. Everybody, in one way or another is trying to grind, has their own hustles, trying to make it however they want to make it. I feel like there's a lot of dope talent in South Florida. So I just wanted to take as much of that talent as I could and put it all on a project, whether, they're singers, they're mumble rappers, they're lyricists, they're whatever the fuck they talk about. There's a way to make shit make sense. And I just wanted to take all of them and put them on a project where it could make sense. And half of them didn't even know who the other person was. But when they heard their record with that person, they were like, oh, yeah, this shit hard.
That's slick.
So that was the whole point, is to kind of use it as like a networking tool to introduce artists to each other, to show them, like, you do this style of music, but this dude does this style of music, but together that shit hard as fuck. Like, y'all can make some dope ass shit. So that's what the whole point of the project was.
I know your information is at the bottom of the screen before we get up out of here. But regardless, tell the people how to get in contact with you.
Yeah, so DJ Chipy305, that's the Instagram. That's really the main thing I'm on. I don't really do social media like that. I know I should, and I know I need to, but I got a lot of shit going on, and I can't juggle between all the different sites. So Instagram, DJ Chipy305, and I am going to get my YouTube channel right. I have a videographer who's going to be doing a lot of content for me. So just DJ Chipy305 on YouTube as well. And that's what it is.
Man, shots out to that, man. I need 60 seconds out of you. I don't want you to worry about me. I don't want you to think about nothing but the advice that I need you to look in this camera, and whoever this interview may fall on, I need you to get some advice, man. We in some messed up times, some desperate times, some cold times, some real broke people times. Like, you've been broke, you've been messed up, you've been on down on your luck. This has not always been the shiny, cute, fly, chippy, boss, father, spouse, manly man. So now go back to that dark time, and I need you to talk to either the old Chippy and get him some advice, or I need you to look in there and then talk to one of these young DJs that may need some advice, King.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like a lot of times we try to please other people, whether it's our family or a spouse or our children or our friends. I feel like we care a lot about what other people think. We don't want to hurt other people with our decisions that we make. But at the end of the day, like, you have one life that you live. A lot of people are dying every day, whether they're young or old. So I feel like you just have to take advantage of this life that you were blessed with, and hopefully the people that you do hurt understand why you're making the decisions you make. But at the end of the day, it's your decision because it's your life that you were blessed with, and you got to live it to the fullest. So just live every day like it's your last.
Man, that's great advice. I appreciate you. In a couple of weeks, we got the 3-on-3 going down, man. Shout out to M3S3. Man, you already know what it is about that movement, man. I got that interview coming up too. But yeah, that 3-on-3, if y'all trying to get a team together, man, tap in with me. I never spoke about what I've been watching, listening to. I did say I was listening to that new Ross album. I'm still on my Kodak Black vibe. I'm still on my old music, because a lot of people have been like really, really at me about dropping more music. So I'm going old and new lately because I want that catalog longer. I want Pandora stations, all that, man. I don't care if it's old and new, it's still new to some. Power Book, man, goes to, man. I'm back on that. We on another season of that, man. You know, I can't get enough of that power. I didn't speak on that. Again, Martin Luther King Parade next week. We're going to be out there real heavy. I don't care if they shut the world down. Man, we out here in them streets, man. You already know what it is. Hey, man, I appreciate you, King. You know it's love. Me and you got a video shoot coming up.
Yes, sir.
One of these episodes, I'm going to go into the details, whether we need models or some casting or whatever the case may be. But I appreciate your time. I appreciate the information, man. And we up out of here, man. We finna get up out of here, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you for having me.
Oh, yeah, y'all artists is trying to get interviewed, man. Y'all tap in with me, man. You know, we got a special going on. So y'all better take advantage, man, especially when it's like this, man. Because, yeah, by the time I get this up, I'm about to load up about 15 interviews because we about to kill shit, man. That's all I want to do this year. Kill them with music, kill them with content, and just keep bombing on them, man, and showing what real grind is about. I don't just talk about grinding. I live it. It's my lifestyle. So, man, I'm up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all for watching, man. You already know, Respect My Grind TV, man. What's happening?